Hi there guys, and welcome to another video with me, Lewis. Today I'm excited because I'll be taking a dive into the dark web and I'll be comparing it to something you may not have heard of, which is the deep web. So the terms deep web and dark web are ones often thrown around in the media quite a lot, but there are some very important distinctions to be made between the two. And I'm going to do just that, providing comprehensive definitions for both so that you can better understand what cybersecurity risks your organisation faces from those willing to exploit the anonymity certain parts of the internet offer. Before we get on to defining the deep and dark web, it's important you understand that neither of them are part of the surface web. To put it into terms anyone can understand, the surface web is made up of all the pages your typical search engines like Google, Bing or Yahoo can display in their search results. The way search engines work to bring their users most relevant results is by crawling websites that have given them permission to do so, analysing the written content and indexing the links they contain. This is the information they can display in their search results. Search engines can't use on-site search bars to find all pages, but rather they can only access pages with links pointing to them. What comes as a surprise to many people is that only a small part of the internet is made up of this surface web and can be indexed by search engines. The majority of the world's web pages exist on a level below this, on the deep web. Hold on, you might say after hearing what I just said, how can most of the internet exist on the deep web? Isn't that where all that illegal activity takes place? Well, yes and no. The deep web is simply an umbrella term that encompasses all web content not indexed by search engines, and there are many completely legitimate reasons for not making a web page accessible to search engines. The dark web is just a small sliver of the deep web. Content that exists on the deep web where it can't be indexed by search engines includes, among other things, pages that have sensitive information, content behind a password or a paywall, and resources only relevant to certain people. This means you have to know the exact URL of a piece of content on the deep web and/or have the login credentials to access it. This category of content on the dark web includes the internal sites and intranets of educational institutions, businesses, and government agencies. It also includes content on websites you need to be a user of, including streaming services like Netflix and newspapers you need a subscription to in order to read them, like The Telegraph. A lot of the content on the deep web is information you wouldn't want to be accessed by just anybody on the internet. Your passwords, online banking accounts, and medical records are just a few types of information for you or about you on the deep web that should definitely stay private and only be accessible to you or your bank or doctor. As I already mentioned, the dark web is just a small sliver of the deep web. It's a part of the internet you can't access using a standard browser. Instead, you need special software to access it. The fact this part of the internet is not indexed by search engines and you need special tools to access it means it's anonymous, making it a popular breeding ground for all kinds of illegal activity. This illegal activity includes the buying and selling of leaked data, including trade secrets, online banking passwords and credit card details, illegal weapons and pornography, fake documents, and both prescription and illegal drugs. There are also plenty of scams that exist on the dark web too, including things like hitman services and live snuff films. Most of these listings, if not all of them, are completely fabricated and put up for the sole purpose of stealing money from the people seeking these illegal services. Much of the illegal trade on the dark web is done using cryptocurrency because of its untraceable nature. In the past, the most famous marketplace on the dark web was the Silk Road, whose founder was arrested by the FBI in 2014. And though many imitator sites have surfaced since, none of them seem to have garnered the longevity or the level of infamy Silk Road had. Browsing the dark web or downloading the software needed to access it is in itself not illegal. What's illegal is soliciting services or buying products on the dark web that are against the law. There are certain groups of people who have legitimate reason to use the dark web, including government and big business whistleblowers working with investigative journalists and political dissidents living under oppressive governments. That being said, the vast majority of people would be much safer steering clear of the dark web. So where does this leave you? Well, first of all, you need to learn how to effectively protect yourself and your organisation from dark web criminals. Luckily for you, there are such tools. Dark web monitoring is one of them, which is a service that scans the dark web for your credentials and protects them from being sold to hackers. To learn more on dark web monitoring, check out the link in the description. I hope this video has given you a better understanding on the deep and dark web and has warned you of the dangers you and your organisation face.